The timeline of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's relationship is a little sketchy. And did they actually threaten the press to not talk about that?
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Love, scandal, and Hollywood's biggest shockwave. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are the couple that Hollywood adores. Their love story seems straight out of a classic romantic film, full of charm, humor, and undeniable chemistry. From their fairy tale meeting on the set of Green Lantern to their playful social media banner that makes fans swoon, they have solidified themselves as the ultimate power couple. But in Hollywood, perfection is just an illusion. Behind the glamorous red carpets and picturesque family outings, the entertainment industry thrives on scandal, whispers, and drama. And now, Blake and Ryan find themselves at the center of two shocking controversies that have set the internet ablaze.
I am Andy Signor. I'm actually in LA this week filming for our Blake Lively documentary. Thank you, Kim, for helping me bank and prep these videos while I'm gone. We'll still be reporting breaking news as it happens, but this was an opportunity for us to go back and look at some stories that a lot of you guys wanted us to talk about that we didn't get to yet. And Kim, this is a doozy. There's a lot of conversation about how did Blake and Ryan really meet, right? They met on Green Lantern. But during that phase of Green Lantern, which was, I guess, back in 2009, was when they were shooting this, or 2010, filming was March to August 2010, Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson, people forget about this, including Gwyneth Paltrow when she interviewed her. We'll get to that in a second. But people forget, yeah, these two were married, right? And so during that period of 2010, 2011, he was with Scarlett Johansson, and Blake was in a long-term relationship with Gossip Girl, Penn Badgley, right, Kim?
Mm-hmm. Ryan Reynolds and the breastfeeding mom scandal. Ryan Reynolds, known for his quick wit and effortless charm, has always been a fan favorite. His ability to blend comedy with sincerity has made him one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. However, even the most untouchable celebrities are not immune to controversy. That a viral TikTok video recently accused Ryan of staring too long at a breastfeeding mother in public, sparking an intense debate online. The woman in question shared her experience, claiming that while she was nursing her baby at a high-end Los Angeles cafe, she noticed Ryan looking in her direction for an uncomfortable amount of time. At first, I thought I was imagining things, she explained in her post, which has now racked up millions of views. But then I realized he wasn't just casually looking around. He was watching. I felt exposed. The internet, as expected, had a field day. Some users were quick to defend the actor, arguing that the entire situation was overblown. Ryan probably wasn't even looking at her. He could have been zoning out. People love to make drama out of nothing, one user commented. Others, however, were not so forgiving. Celebrities need to be aware of how their actions make people feel. If she felt uncomfortable, then it's valid.
Yeah, now that we know from you, right? Yeah, they were together for a while, and it just kind of seems like that ended. But the big question is, was there essentially cheating? And it's kind of hard to be able to tell. So there's two different narratives, but specifically what Ryan and Blake's narrative is, they both were not in relationships. When they did get together, it was after the filming of Green Lantern, and everything was good. But I think what made everything more complicated was there was a rumor due to a tweet that was sent out by a reporter. So that's kind of the odd thing here.
Smoking gun, if you will. This is what it was.
Yeah.
Yes, here we have the article. That during the allegation of this really all stemmed from a journalist who now claimed it in a deleted tweet.
Yes.
Now, the tweet has been archived. Here it is from Kat Marnell. Fun fact, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hooked up when Ryan Reynolds was still married to ScarJo and holed up in a NOLA hotel room during the Green Lantern. Us Weekly had discovered this, and their beauty editor would tell us this at events and about how Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's team's threats squashed the story. Now, again, this person's reporting, it is hearsay, right? Because she's clearly saying, this is the beauty editor over at this place is telling me this, so it is multiple steps to confirm this, everybody, so it's not confirmed. But it wouldn't be a surprise. They were clearly had chemistry during that tour. I remember, Kim, all the junkets and people.
Another row. As the backlash grew, fans anxiously waited for Ryan to break his silence. Known for his ability to spin any situation into a joke, Many expected him to respond with a humorous tweet or a clever Instagram post. But to everyone's surprise, he said nothing. The lack of response only fueled more speculation. Was he guilty? Was he avoiding the topic because he knew he was in the wrong? Or was he simply refusing to give attention to a baseless rumor? Whatever the reason, his silence spoke volumes. Blake Lively's Oscar nomination and the betrayal from within while Ryan was dealing with the fallout of a scandal. Blake Lively was experiencing a moment that should have been one of the most triumphant in her career. After years of proving her talent on screen, she had finally received a prestigious Oscar nomination. The moment was supposed to be filled with joy and celebration.
The scene of Ryan and Blake, there is so much seemingly flirtation. I would say even more than what Justin and Blake was happening on their videos, that everyone seems to think there was a relationship. The chemistry between Ryan and Blake was palpable in everything I saw, and a lot of like sexual jokes and like, oh yeah, and pointing. You've noticed that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the biggest thing for me as I was looking through this story was just even this idea that is this possible? Because as we've been going through this whole drama with Justin Baldoni, we're learning so much about the way that PR works, and things that happen behind the scenes, right? We're seeing all these texts of these PR employees and agents that are all speaking with press outlets directly, trying to make sure there's good stories about their client, or blocking potential stories about their client. And it makes me start to wonder, like, could this really be possible? Would this be something? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there have been stories of affairs between celebrities that have been blocked in the press because of PR. And I think that's part of why this whole Justin Baldoni story is so fascinating. It's just because people are really getting a behind the scenes look at the reality of PR and what all of that means.
I mean, the other thing that we can't, because you didn't even have this in here, but I'm going there, Kim, because if we really go through it, Blake Lively has had a history of being with her co-stars.
It's true.
That's what's being alleged here between, obviously, as we know, with Penn Badgley, Ryan Reynolds. There was talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. Here's the sort of the dating histories go. Leonardo DiCaprio, the rumors were that Blake Lively was up for The Great Gatsby and then hooked up with Leo, but then didn't ultimately get the part, and then didn't stay with Leo, is what the rumors are. Was she with Ryan Gosling? That's I guess she wasn't in a movie with him.
Spotted on a few dates.
Allegedly. I mean, who wouldn't want to go on a few dates with him? Penn, but yeah, and then this, yes, they were in Sister of the Traveling Pants. So there's multiple people here that she seemingly does, and I'm not throwing shade. It isn't my business. It sets a potential precedent that, yeah, and it's why a lot of us during the Sit Ends With Us story, like maybe she was trying to hook up with Justin or use that, because it does seem to be something that she's done before, right? Is that unfair of us to sort of speculate about, Kim?
I think as long as we keep in mind that it is speculation, an opinion, and alleged, I think it's okay. We can't say for sure. And I think that's a big part of this story and why it's been so fascinating to so many people, is that we don't have anything completely definitive to be able to say yes or to be able to say no. And I think that got even further complicated with Scarlett Johansson herself, because she has spoken a little bit about her previous relationships, and there's been a few quotes that we believe or allegedly may possibly be directed in Ryan Reynolds' direction. But it does seem like she's tried to keep a really kind of, I guess, above reproach, classy approach to this divorce and what happened between the two of them.
Yeah, she was a guest on Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop podcast, and Johansson, they were talking about marriages, and Johansson answered that she had actually been married 3 times, and then Gwyneth forgot. Oh, that's right, because I forgot you were married to Ryan Reynolds, replied Paltrow. Goals, laughing, I guess Paltrow said goals. Laughing, Johansson said, we weren't married very long. But they added they were together when Johansson and Paltrow met during Iron Man. Paltrow said, we love a good Ryan Reynolds in our house, is what Paltrow said. And Johansson said, he's a good guy. So that was the only public record we've really seen her say officially about Ryan was, he's a good guy. So whether she was playing nice, not wanting to cause any scene, who knows? Or maybe she was telling the truth. She previously had alluded to her exes in a Cosmopolitan article where she says the logistics, when they were talking about marriages and reasons for divorce, she says the logistics of being with another actor are challenging. There has to be a real understanding of how you share your time, especially when two people's careers are going at the same rate, she told Cosmo. Or even if one person is more successful than the other, that also proves challenging. There may be a competitive thing. Now, she's being careful. Everyone sort of assumed this was about Ryan. There must be competition. That's where this all stemmed from. But Johansson's, I like her because she does keep it classy. She doesn't go out there speaking tales of her exes and things. And she seems like she's just talking more broadly here. So I don't see this as a knock at Ryan and everybody else. And I do think she's been playing nice. That doesn't mean that this didn't still happen. Right, Kim? That's where it's at. There could be a version of this where Scarlett maybe suspects it. Maybe Ryan's denied it. Who knows? But clearly it didn't work. So she's just moving on and doesn't really care at this point. She's clearly happier and moved on with Colin Jost here. But just odd now that it's all come around with Ryan showing up to her new husband's place of work to crack jokes about his current wife's SH allegations. Hey, you just can't make this stuff up, Kim, can you?
No, you can't. I will say, though, I think the last quote from Scarlett was I thought it was very sweet, and I believe it is in this Glamour article, if you scroll down a bit, where she did specifically reflect on her relationship with Reynolds. And I do have the quote here, and it just says, departing a relationship and still maintaining the idea that this is still the same person I married is a great luxury that I experienced. Thankfully, I was in a relationship where two people chose to remain on the high road in every regard. And I mean, props to her for keeping it classy and keeping things private. You know, like, I think she did an incredible job with that, maneuvering this. This was such a big deal when the two of them split up and all of this drama started. And she really did just handle it like a complete pro. And I guess at the end of the day, we're really not going to know. And ultimately, it is private. It is somebody's personal relationship. It's not our business, but it is hard when it's in the public eye and people have questions and they're seeing a fuzzy timeline. But
and you see the chemistry that these two had, which they had.
Yeah.
And she's dated her other co-stars, which she's done. It could make someone jealous.
It all adds, and it's all definitely a very interesting web.
Indeed. What are your theories? What do you think down below? We got so much more coming for you this week, and Kim will be here to break the news with me as I can. But we're shooting in LA. It's happening, our documentary, so support us over on Patreon. Make sure you subscribe here as well. Hit that bell for alerts so you get notified. Smash the thumbs up as well. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think down below nicely. And make sure you support It's Kim as well.